Another important concept is Maven. So far we have learnt about the Java concepts, SNG concepts, and Selenium concepts. But if you want to excel at framework level, if you want to be expert in creating framework and setting up frameworks, the next big thing that you need to learn is Maven, because it provisions or automates complete software management, uh, or the code that you have, or test code that you have written. Okay, so the test code in general, after developers develop the code or write the code, next thing is to deploy that, so make it usable. Okay, for deploying, what do? We first need to compile the code. After compiling the code, you need to package the code into some jar or var. Once that is ready, you go and deploy it somewhere. You copy that and paste it somewhere. Okay, before you actually run them using java-jar, whatever technique based on the archive. Okay, so this complete the compiling, that is building, includes compiling your JUnit code, running your JUnit tests, then copying all the resources, downloading all the jars that you uh, third-party jars that you have used in your project. Okay, once everything is ready, package it into a jar or where, then go and deploy it somewhere. This complete uh, thing is called as build process. Okay, so Maven is used to automate the build process. It makes build process very easy, or it automates build process with less human intervention. Once you configure everything using the Maven takes care of the complete build process. Let's go in details. In our further sessions, we'll discuss each thing that Maven is capable of. So first thing is, Maven is software project management tool. Okay, Maven can manage a project's build, reporting, and documentation. So majorly, it is used to automate the build process. Okay. The the backbone of Maven is POM. POM stands for Project Object Model. It's basically an XML file which has complete project details and configurations, which Maven understands and build accordingly. Okay, so we can say that pom.xml is a XML file which has all configurations, or which tell Maven what to do. Okay, by reading the pom.xml, Maven understands different folder structures and different things that it needs to do. Okay, so in our sessions, we'll go in detail about pom.xml too. Okay, so for now, just think that Maven tells pom.xml tells Maven what to do. Okay, if there is no pom.xml, Maven cannot do anything. Okay, as I said, it is majorly used as a build tool, even though it can do other things like reporting and documentation. So when we say it a build tool, we need to know what a build tool is. Okay, so these are few things, the few major things that a build tool is supposed to do. First thing is compile source code. Okay, so what is source code? The code written by developers, nothing but source code. Okay, so developers write two things. One is source code, or actual implementation of the functionality. The second thing is unit test, which act on source code. Okay, so they write both source code and unit tests. Unit tests are also written by developers only. So the build tool, it compiles source code. Also, it compiles the unit testing code that they have written, or unit test that they have written. once it compiles unit test code, it has to run those tests. Okay, then uh, copy all the resources that are needed by your project. For example, in my project, we need TestNG, we need Selenium jar, we need TestNG jar, we need Apache POA jar. All these jars are there, right? So for what we have done, after creating project, we explicitly downloaded those jar files, added them to the build path of our project manually. But this build tool or Maven, it automates that process too. You don't need to go and download that explicitly. Okay, so Maven has its own repository where all these things are located. It simply, you just tell what to download, it will go and download that and put them in build path of our project. Okay, then package the project. If it is it packages the project into jar or var. Okay, if it is web application, it makes var, that is web archive. If it is Java application, it uh, packages our project into a jar file. Okay, Java archive. So ultimately, we need to, once we package our complete project into a jar, we can give that jar to anybody so that they can run. Okay, our jar has everything. Then finally deploying the jar file. Deploying project is nothing but deploying your jar file or deploying your var file. You put it somewhere. Okay, you copy that onto some Linux machines. Generally, we tend to write our code uh, in our Windows machines, that are Windows machine. Then uh, commit that into SVN. So our build tools or continuous integration tool, what they do, they check out that code, they do all this build process. Okay, once that is built, it packages that into some jar or var. Once that is ready, it directly copies that and paste it in some location or deploy it in some location where uh, or deploy it in some node where that can be accessed. Okay, so this is about a build tool. Maven is capable of doing all these things. Okay, the main objective of Maven is making build process easy. Okay, so if there is a tool which can do this in very little time, or which can automate this complete process, it will actually help us. Okay, suppose if there is no tool which does these things, then we need to compile the code manually. Then okay, we need to do each step independently, that too manually. Okay, we need to deploy, we need to package that using some technique, we need to deploy it manually. So all these things takes time. Okay, but build tool automates this complete process. So it actually makes build process easy. Okay, so we'll go about all these things. Okay, we'll see the examples of all these things, you will understand. Okay, next step is to installing Maven. Okay, so the prerequisites are JDK should be installed on our machine where Maven is running, or where we want to run our Maven. Remember, we need JDK installed. Okay, then Java home is set. Okay, Java home is nothing but an environment variable. uh, the any other tools like Maven, which are which needs the other tools, which the prerequisites for them is to have Java running. So if there is Java running, then only those tools work. For example, Maven. Okay, so for all these tools, to tell where Java is located, we create an environment variable called as Java home. Okay, so any other tool, uh, if it uh, if it needs to know where Java is running, okay, so by reading Java home variable that we have set, it understands the location of Java. Okay, the purpose of Java home is that any other tool which need or which want Java to be running, in order to tell them where Java is located, this Java home variable is set. Okay, so that those tools look for that variable and know where Java is running. Okay, so installing Maven, I will divide this installation process into two steps. One is installing Maven in our system. Okay, second is installing Maven in Eclipse. We'll see the examples of the first thing, that is installing Maven in system. So we need to download the Maven. Binary zip archive Apache Maven 339. This is the latest version. So basically there is no exe file for Maven. So all that you need is you need to download the binary, that zip file. Okay, you extract it. That is it. You just you extract it, then create an environment variable for it to tell where it is located. I'll show. Before that, I'll create CMD. Let me show Java home is set. Okay, my Java home is at this location. File Java JDK. Okay, then I have a set that in path to. Okay, see in path also, see program file Java JDK bin. Okay, so Java home tells the home directory of Java. Okay, that is this. Okay, Apache is downloaded. Let me extract it somewhere. Extract all. I would like to extract this to my softwares folder. Okay, okay. So in soft there is our I'll delete this. Okay, my Maven. So Maven has bin folder. So you know what is bin folder? That is nothing but it has the binaries which are executables. Okay. See Maven dot see Windows command script mean that is nothing but exe. Okay, they can be run from command line. Okay, I have the Maven is here. Okay, before that I was talking about the path variable. So Java home is just the home location. If I go here, see program files, Java, JDK. See, this is this is the Java home. This is the home folder. This JDK 18. This one is the home of Java. My Java installation. It has all the other folders which are related. The other important folder is bin folder present inside Java home. Okay. See, so that bin should be set in path variable, so that if anyone wants to run all the exes present in bin folder, see Java C, all application files. Okay, so if anyone wants to run these, okay, from anywhere, not from this location, from any location, all that they need to do is uh, add that binary file to your path variable, so that I don't need to be in this folder to run that Java. So see, I can run Java from hyphen version from uh, this from somewhere else. This is not, I am not actually in this folder. Okay, so how I am able to run this Java? Because uh, when I run this, what Windows does is it first goes and look in this path environment variable. Okay, if that in that path it will check for all the folders that I have mentioned. There are n number of folders. There are many other folders. It will go and look in each folder whether that particular executable file is present. Since this path variable has this a bin folder in its location. Okay, so it will go and look in that bin. So that bin has this Java file. It was this Java file, okay, java.exe. So it runs that. Okay, so just remember that why do we need Java to be set in path variable is in order to run Java command from anywhere, not just from the location where the java.exe present. Okay, so I have extracted Maven to this location. Now it's time to set an environment variable. Okay, before that, for Java to check the version, this is the command. Similarly, for Maven to check the version, this is the command Maven hyphen version. See, Maven is not recognized as internal or external command. Okay, let's see why this is. Because we have not yet set up this Maven home and path variable. So we need to add the location of Maven bin to this path. I'll do that now. So first thing is we need to, for Java it's Java underscore home, for Maven it's m2 underscore home. Okay, so what should be the value of this variable? The softs and Apache Maven. So this is the home directory of Maven. So we need to give that value. Okay, now Maven home is set. Let's go and see. Okay, if Maven, I will verify whether Maven home is set or not. If it is already set, this set command returns that location. Otherwise, see, environment variable m2 home is not defined, because after setting, if the command prompt is already open, you need to close and open it again to get the change affected or get the environment variable affected. Now I'll run m2 underscore home. Sorry. Okay, I need to save this. m2 home is already set. Okay, I'll open this again. See, now it got reflected. The next thing is to run this Maven hyphen version. Still, even though Maven home is set, Maven hyphen version is unable to execute that. Okay, why? Because we need to set that in path variable too. Okay, how to set? This, go to path variable, search for path variable. Okay, this is path variable. In that path, add new one, that is percent m2. Since I have already created a variable with name Maven home, okay, slash bin. Okay, I'll restart this again. See, now it has given details. Okay, so for m2 home, we need to set until this path. Okay, we need to set this path. For in path variable, we need to give this path, complete path into bin folder. Okay, since this path is nothing but the variable m2 home, I have just gave that variable slash bin in the path. Okay, so since I have added this complete path in path variable, now when I ran this command mvn hyphen version, it went inside this folder and check look, it found this maven command, it executed that command with the parameter hyphen version. Okay, so this is about setting m2 home and maven version. So both these things are mandatory. Okay, now I have downloaded maven, extracted it, set m2 home, set path variable. I am done with maven installation in my system. The next thing is to installing maven in eclipse. Okay, so see, okay, let me explain installing maven in eclipse. Okay, I need to go to help, eclipse marketplace, search for maven. So for testing testng also we followed the same procedure. Okay, we went to eclipse marketplace. From there we installed testng as a plugin to eclipse. Similarly for maven also we install maven as a plugin to eclipse. Okay, before it will not allow me. Okay, okay, so it's already installed in my machine. Maybe it has come with mars. I have downloaded that java enterprise edition, so I think all these tools are pre-installed along with eclipse. Okay, it's already installed. Okay, if I go here, file, new maven project, see I'm already getting this option. If that plugin is not installed there, you don't get anything related to maven. Okay, now it's allowing me to create a maven project. So if by default this uh, maven plugins comes pre-installed with the eclipse, if it's not there, the way to do that is go to help, go to eclipse marketplace. From there you search and install it. That's it. You just restart your eclipse, you are done with installation. Okay, you don't need to do anything else. Okay, so this is about installing maven in eclipse. So even installation is very easy, both in the system and eclipse. Okay, so next thing is to creating first maven project. So again, see, you can do the things or creating whatever, creating maven project, building maven project, all the stuff you can do both from eclipse as well as command line. Okay, command line needs your this first installation, installing maven system. Okay, if you want to do the same things from eclipse, it requires second installation. Both are independent, remember, don't get confused. Suppose uh, this you have not installed maven in your system, but it is installed in your eclipse. If you go to command line and run that maven clean install, whatever the stuff maven create, that create new project using archetypes, okay, it will not run because Maven is not run in the system. It is only set up in Eclipse. Okay, suppose if you want to do any Maven related stuff on Eclipse, even though your Maven is set up in your system and not it, and if it's not set up in your Eclipse, you will not be able to do that. So what I am trying to say is both are independent. If you want to do anything Maven related stuff in Eclipse, make sure Maven is installed in Eclipse. And if you want to do the Maven related stuff from command line, you need to make sure that the Maven is installed on your system. So both are independent. So each work independently without the other. If one is installed, another is not installed, Maven works only where it is installed. Okay. Then
సిద్ధు
yeah, Ramu.
కళ్యాణ్
Kalyan.
మావెన్ డౌన్లోడ్ చెప్పారు కదా మీరు ఇప్పుడు
అవును.
ఒకసారి. అది అంటే ఏ ఫైల్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేయాలి యాక్చువల్గా?
లొకేషన్ బటనా?
అంటే ఆల్రెడీగా
ఏం
చూసాను.
లేదు, అది బైనరీ ఫైల్ విండోస్.
అంటే లింక్ చెక్ సమ్ సిగ్నేచర్ అని ఉన్నాయి కదా,
ఇది ఉంది కదా, నువ్వు
ఒక్క నిమిషం.
ఈ ఉంది కదా బైనరీ డౌన్లోడ్ చేయాలి. ఇది ఈ లింక్ ఉంది కదా,
సెకండ్ లింక్.
ఇది ఈ రెండు ఏదైనా వాడుకోవచ్చు.
ఓకే ఓకే
ఓకే, ఏదైనా డౌన్లోడ్ చేయొచ్చు.
ఓకే ఓకే,
ఈ రెండు ఫస్ట్
ఉంటుందా? ఓకే ఓకే.
సో the next thing is creating first Maven project. So this thing is very important that I told you. So each installation is independent. Suppose you install it in the system and don't install in Eclipse, you will not be able to do anything from the Eclipse. You will only be able to do only from command line. Okay, similarly vice versa. Okay, creating first Maven project. First we'll create a new project from Eclipse. Create a new Maven project from Eclipse. How to do that? File, new. If you directly see Maven project, select that. Even if you don't see, just select project. There you go to Maven project. Okay, here create a simple project. Skip archetype selection. I will tell you what an archetype is. Okay, for now just select it, click next. Here it's asking me to give group ID, artifact ID, version, packaging, the other stuff. The I'll discuss you what group ID, artifact ID, version and packaging, the first 4 things. Okay, so the remaining things are not mandatory. I'll tell what the first 4 things are. So basically group ID is at your organization level or your company level. Suppose take the example of google.com. So google.com is the parent company, or google.com is the name of the company, or google.com is the website of Google company. Okay, so Google has many products. It's Gmail, okay, Google Maps, Google Chrome browser. Okay, there are many things. So those are all multiple artifacts of Google. Okay, google.com, I'll call it group ID. Okay, then it can have multiple artifacts, or that can be Gmail is one of that, Google Maps is one of that, Google Chrome is one of that. It has many things. It has Google apps, multiple Google apps. Okay, there are many products, so each product can be an artifact. Okay, so if I based on this, I can name like this. So group ID is google.com. It's always generally the google.com should be given as google com.google. So in reverse we need to pick the parent company name or parent company's website in the opposite way. So instead of google.com we need to select com.google. Okay, now coming to artifact ID. Okay, this my project is my Gmail project. Okay, so I named the artifact as Gmail. So we suppose it's related to Chrome, Google Chrome. I name it Google Chrome. Okay, for now let me give it as Gmail, and version we can give. So I can give it as, see, I can give it as 001 dash snapshot or just like this. Okay, so snapshot means anything that is still in development. Okay, for so any project which is still in development is represented using the version snapshot version. Okay, so if it's not development, it's already done and it's ready to be used or ready to be deployed so that customers can use. In that case we don't need snapshot. Okay, for now let me put it as snapshot because we are still. And packaging. Okay, see jar, palm, war. Suppose it is just Java application, you can select jar. If it is a web application, you can select var, like that. Okay, so since our is just jar, because whatever the projects that we are in, just jar Java project. Okay, it's not web application. I selected jar. Okay, now I'll click finish. So first four are important. Now you know what is group ID, artifact ID, version, packaging. Click finish. See, the project got created. Okay, Gmail, the name of the project is nothing but what happened? Okay, so name of the project is nothing but Gmail. So it's the artifact. Suppose artifact. Okay, now it has come up with some default structure. Okay, see, source, there is a pom.xml. I'll explain what that is. Source has main, Java resources, test, Java resources, like this. Okay, so this is default folder structure of Maven. So you did not select anything. By default it got created. That means Maven creates the folder structure in this way. Okay. If I open pom.xml, this is nothing but the project object model I'm discussing. When you open it, double click on it, it gets open like this. Okay. So by default, it opens with this overview tab. In order to see the XML representation of it, you need to click this pom.xml. See, this is how it got created. So here, just see this. Group ID is com.google. Okay, that we have given. Artifact ID is Gmail. Version is snapshot. So okay, it got built. Don't worry. Why it's got built. Uh, will take you to window, show view. Okay, so this is source, main Java, test Java, target. Okay, classes, test classes. don't worry. Okay, so this is how we need to create a Maven project from Eclipse. There is another way to create a Maven project from Eclipse. So if you remember, last time we have selected this. This time we don't want to select this because I don't want to skip archetype selection. Okay, I see last time I selected this, now I don't want to select it. Next, okay, it is giving me multiple archetypes. So select an archetype, it's asking me. So every option is every row is an archetype. Okay, if you see, there is one Maven archetype quick start, Maven archetype web app. Okay, there are multiple things, multiple architects. So what is an archetype? Archetype is nothing but a template. Okay, suppose if you need to create a web application, you select this Maven archetype web app. It tells Maven what are all the things that are needed by web application project and what should be the corresponding folder structure. So it is a predefined template. If you select that, Maven understands that, reads that archetype, understands that archetype. It accordingly it creates the project. Suppose if I don't want web app, I just need uh, Maven archetype quick start, which is very basic Maven project. So it's not web application, it's not any complex thing. It will create a simple Maven project accordingly. Basically, archetypes of predefined templates which tells Maven how to create the project or what are all the things that are needed to create that kind of project or that type of project. So for example, if I create this quick start, Maven archetype quick start, again we need to give that. Okay, group id is com.google. Okay, artifact id is, this time I'll give Google Maps. Okay, it is asking me for package. Okay, you can give as it is or just give com.google. Okay, it's no, there is no predefined way of doing that. You'll understand what is a package, how, where it gets reflected. Okay, let me give this as um, email maps. Okay, um, okay, I give it some maps. Okay, select finish. See, this new project got created, Maven project. It has the structure, source, target. Okay, we'll see what all these things are. So then it has this pom.xml also. See, if I go to this XML view, here it has come up with uh, so group ID that we only gave that parameter, artifact ID version 001 snapshot, packaging jar. Okay, by default that quick start comes. We have not selected jar or var. It did not give any option to us, but still it created jar because it's that archetype tells Maven to set this packaging as jar. Okay, so that archetype internally has this definition. Okay, so similarly, the name is nothing but the artifact ID. Okay, we can give the name also, no worries. But what we see here, Google underscore maps, nothing but this artifact ID. Okay. Then properties, dependencies. Okay, if we go here, it by default, see, there are an in source folder. Source is nothing but code written by developers. As I said, developers write two things. One is actual development code or implementation of the functionality that goes into main Java, com, Google. So see, main Java. Okay, in main Java, that is com Google Maps. This is just one sample piece of code that they gave with main method. Okay, similarly, in test there is Java, com, Google Maps, test. So as I told, developer source code is divided into two things. One is actual code, okay. Second one is unit test code, okay. So actual code goes into this folder, source main Java. Okay, that means we need to, whatever code that we write, we need to write in this folder, source main Java. Whatever unit tests that they write, they should put in source, okay, source main Java, source test Java. So source main Java, source test Java. This is the folder structure. Okay. If you remember, while creating that project, it asked me for some package name. There I gave it as com Google Maps, right? com.google.maps. See, in Java, that package structure got reflected. If I go to this project explorer view, the source main Java, in that com.google.maps, okay. In this com.google.maps, both packages have same name, but they are in different folders, that is source main Java, source test Java. Here it will have actual development code, and here it will have unit test code. See, so it gave me a sample unit test code which is written using JUnit. I told you, right? JUnit and TestNG, they can be used to uh, write unit tests too, okay, which act on the actual development code. Okay, they directly call the methods present in unit tests at the test. They directly call the methods that are written by developers in their development code, okay, and verify whether they are working as expected, okay, before they are actually converted to jar and deployed. Okay, so before uh, creating the jar itself, we run the unit test on the source code. Okay, once all the tests are passed, then we package it to jar. We deploy that jar somewhere. This is the purpose of, this is how JUnit testing works. Unit testing works, not JUnit testing. Okay. Okay. So if you see this pom.xml for this project, it has by default come with JUnit, because this app test has test written using JUnit. So we need that JUnit jar files in this project. So that jar is added like this as a dependency. Okay, I told you, right? So suppose this is not a Maven project. If we have written this code, or we have some code which makes use of JUnit test, we need JUnit jar, right? We need to go to that project, right click on that, go to build path, add external jars, add your downloaded JUnit jar file to your location manually. Then it starts working. But in case of Maven, the process is automated. In case of Maven, that whole process is automated. How it is handled? It is handled using dependencies. Okay, you just add this JUnit dependency. Okay, it comes here. See, I have not added it manually. Okay, it got added when the project when the Maven project was created. include that particular jar from this. There are many things that we can do. We discussed that as part of dependency management. Okay, so this is best example. So all that, if I need to access any third party jar in my code like this, here it's in this case JUnit is used. So we need JUnit.jar. Instead of adding that, downloading that, adding that to build path of the project manually, just go to the pom.xml, add the dependency. Maven takes care of that, the remaining things. Okay, it knows the group ID, artifact ID. This is basically telling Maven what this is. So this group ID again. See our project. See this our project. While creating our project, I gave a group ID, artifact ID, like that, right? Similarly, JUnit is a project. Okay, so so some JUnit team or JUnit organization. Okay, so they have, for them the group ID is JUnit, artifact ID is also JUnit for them. Okay, so what they did, they developed this completely. Once they are confident that this can be released to production, they just gave the version. Okay, and released to production. What Maven does is, Maven has repository, its own repository over the internet. Okay, it downloads the jar using this information. Okay, so basically in the group JUnit there is an artifact with name JUnit again. Okay, since these two names are same here, you might be, you might get confused here, but just compare this with our thing, group ID. So for us it's com.google is the group ID, artifact ID is Google Maps. For JUnit it was this. Okay, so so ultimately when we, this is our project. Okay, suppose Google Maps is our project. Ultimately when we create a jar, okay, that jar has this group ID, it will have this artifact ID, it will have this version. Okay, if anyone wants to make use of our jar, all that they need to do is give the get the values from us, put that in their project like this, so that their project will access our jars. Okay, we'll see those things later. Okay, now we just have created uh, a project using archetype. We created the first project without using archetype, second project with using archetype. Now you know what is an archetype. Archetype is nothing but a template which tells Maven what kind of project it will be. Accordingly, get the all the dependencies, get the folder structure or whatever the stuff that is related. It gets only that, or it creates project in that way. Okay, if it is web app, if the archetype is web app, okay, it will create your project in a way how your web application should be. Okay, so that is about archetypes. So always it's preferable you just since you are beginners, you just create a project like this: file, new, Maven project, create a simple Maven project. Don't skip this. Okay, don't select this. If you are selecting, that means you are skipping the archetype selection. Okay, select, unselect this, you will be taken to this page. Since we are testing team, we are automation team, we don't need any web application or any type. All that we need is a simple Maven archetype with quick start. This is very basic Maven project. Okay, so all this is sufficient for us. Okay, so group ID I can give something. So basically my I have a website, suppose with the name uh, Sidhu.com. I'll name it com.sidhu. Artifact ID as um, Maven underscore learning. Okay, version snapshot I'll give because still in development. Here I don't want to give this. I just need this package name as com.sidhu. quick finish. See, it has created a project for me. So it has, by default, it has created a pom.xml. Okay, it will have all the basic things that I need. Okay, so it has this source main Java. It has given me a sample uh, code in source main Java, that is uh, development code. This is there is source test Java. It will have test code, okay, or JUnit code. Basically, um, all that I need to do is I can go I need to go on with adding my new case here. Suppose if I need some new class, I'll name it mm, login. Okay, finish. Okay, here it will have, I can go on adding my code here under this folder. Okay, this is unit test. I am not, we are automation engineers. We don't write unit tests. Okay, so I don't need this folder at all. Okay, I can simply create this package, delete this package, this com.sidhu package. I don't need this. You might get consider whatever we are writing are nothing but tests. We should keep that under test. Okay, but we are keeping them here. Okay, let me repeat my question again. We are testers. Whatever we write are tests. Okay, all the tests should be in test folder. But why we are writing in this folder? Okay, remember, in case of actual developers development code, it will have the original development code plus unit test code. But for us, the development code is nothing but our tests, and we don't have any unit tests. All our tests are uh, regression tests or integration tests, we can call. Okay, they are not unit tests, so we don't want to put them here. Okay, so for us, for this automation project, the code is nothing but the development code is nothing but the automation test that we are writing. Okay, and they are not unit tests. That's why we are not putting them here. Okay, so in my next sessions, in our all the code that I write will be here, source main Java. Okay, because for us, this is the development code. Development code is nothing but our automation test, and I am not writing any unit testing code. Okay, so I don't require this. I'll simply delete this. Okay, okay. We'll go into details later. So this is about creating a Maven project from uh, Eclipse. Similarly, you can create a Maven project from command line also. How to do that? Okay, so you just go to the folder, or I can go to any folder. So now I am in video. I can just change to D. Okay, here inside D, in training, I'll create a new folder. Okay, see, whatever projects that I have created, they go and get created in Eclipse workspace. Okay, see, workspace. This is my Eclipse workspace. See, Maven Learning, Google Maps, Gmail, all the Maven projects that I created from Eclipse, they go into workspace. That is obvious. uh, while creating a Maven project from command line, it's not necessary that you go and create in workspace. Okay, it's basically from command line. That is, you can go to any folder, you can create that project. Okay, not just in workspace. In fact, uh, for command line, that Eclipse workspace is just like any other folder. Okay, in D folder, I go to learning or training. Okay, I'll go to that sample Maven projects. Okay, so for creating a Maven project from command line, there is a way to do that. See, so it's Maven, this complete code. Okay, this is not, I cannot access it. I'll type that. Okay, what is that? Maven is the command, mvn is the command. In that I need to pass multiple parameters. Okay, so first thing is archetype, generate. Then I need to give all the values, like what should be the group id, what should be the artifact id, hyphen d. Group id equal to, I just name it com dot google or com dot sidhu. Okay, and hyphen d artifact id. So artifact id equal to, I'll name some uh, Maven a learning 2. Okay, and what is the third one? Archetype artifact id equal to, I'll give some archetypes that are predefined archetypes that I need to give. So Maven archetype quick start. See this one. So Eclipse by default shows them while creating new project. Suppose new Maven project. Okay, it shows them here, right? Uh, so see, this is the artifact ID or artifact ID of this archetype. So I need to give this value. So suppose if I need to create a web app, okay, let us take example of web app, Maven archetype web app. Okay, I need to give that value and just telling that this should be the template of the Maven project that you are creating. Maven archetype web app. I just gave this name. Okay, so an archetype which contains a sample Maven web app project. See, so the same thing that Eclipse has done, we were able to do that using graphics or the GUI, graphical user interface of Eclipse. The same thing we are doing from command line. The This is the whole command. Here we are telling the Maven is the original Maven command. To that we passed archetype. What we need to do, that is goal generate. The group ID equal to com.sidhu. The artifact ID Maven learning. Okay. Archetype also we are giving. Now press enter. Basically, by giving this last archetype, oh, spelling is incorrect. So basically, but with the help of this parameter, we are telling archetype spelling, archetype. So archetype artifact ID Maven archetype web app. So basically, I am telling Maven to create a web app, a Maven web app project by giving that archetype. So what it is doing? So Maven by default it downloads all the things that are necessary. See, Maven requires internet access. Remember, it downloads everything from internet. Of course, it will have its local repository. First time, it has to get them from internet, from its own Maven repo over the internet. See repo.maven.apache.org. First time it downloads them and stores in local Maven repository. I'll show that tomorrow. Okay? Local Maven repository. So next time when we run Maven again, it first checks in its Maven repository. If it is present there, it uses that. If it is not there, it downloads that again from internet and stores that in local repository and makes use of it. Okay, see, um, group ID equal to com.sidhu, artifact ID equal to maven learning 2 that we have already given in the original command. Now, define value for property version. I have not given version for that. It's asking me to give version. If I don't give here, if I just press enter, it will take this value snapshot. If I give some, it will take that value. Okay, I just press enter. What happened? Okay, I'll give something like this. It's asked. Okay, so it is showing me all the values. It's asking me to confirm all the values that I have given. So first thing is group ID, that is com.sidhu, artifact ID Maven Learning 2, version 1.0, package com.sidhu. So it's kind of asking me whether this is okay for you. I give yes and press enter. Okay, see, build success. That means it has created that project for me. We'll go this training, go to Selenium Maven projects. Here, see, I have created Maven Learning 2, that is artifact ID. Artifact ID is nothing but the name of the project, remember. Okay, you don't see this group ID in the name of the project. Okay, that means in a company or in an organization called sidhu.com, this artifact or this project is there. We can make use of it. Okay, see, source, main, resources, web app. Okay, webinf. So since we have selected archetype as a web app, so all the Maven has created this project in a way how a web application should be. Okay, see, this folder structure also changed. Previously, for our the other projects that were created from Eclipse, the folder structure was different. Main resources. Now it is source main resources. Okay, source main resources. It have web apps. In web app there is webinf. Okay, web.xml. This web.xml, all this stuff. Okay, so this is how we need to create a project from command line. So in reality, we hardly create a web application or create a Maven project from command line. We mostly do it through Eclipse. Okay, we always make use of some IDE. Okay, once we are completely done or once we set up a complete project, write some code, then we check into SVN directly from Eclipse. Okay, so we remember to practice this first technique or creating Maven project from Eclipse. Okay, this is the second technique, creating from command line. This is not that important because we hardly do it from command line. We generally do it from Maven project. In general, how frequently we get to create a project from scratch. So if we are automation architects or if we are building something from scratch or building automation framework from scratch, then we need to create a Maven project either from Eclipse or from command line. Okay, so in that case, if you have to create a project from scratch, then prefer creating it from Eclipse. Okay, using the first technique. I mean, using the techniques that we have discussed for creating a Maven project from Eclipse. Makes use of archetypes. Okay, make use of archetypes. Make use of that Maven archetype quick. What is the name of that? Okay, some quick. Okay, see, quick start. Okay, we'll stop here